Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another YouTube video. I appreciate you for clicking on this in the first place to begin with. Thank you very much. But today we are here going to watch a video together. Okay. We're reacting to this guy named Foley. I don't know. But him and the Rick, they have the same demeanor. They have the same character. They have the same hatred and their heart for Call of Duty. So for the first time, I'm gonna, you know what? Fuck it. Let me see this guy's content. Let me see what he's talking about. So we're gonna watch it together. Let's go ahead. Let's see what we're doing.
24 hours.
So the name of the video is Battlefield 6 Demolish Call of Duty. The truth. Let's get right into it.
Please join up. And without further ado, guys, let's get into this tweet that comes out from Charlie Intel. We're not going to call him Scatmaster Charles today because, frankly, some of the engagement baiting that is happening here is this is just something I would expect significantly more from somebody like Charlie Intel, who handles this type of shit. Call of Duty was the most played game in the US on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S for the week ending on Saturday, October 11th, during the Black Ops 7 beta. Battlefield 6 debuted in terms of players at number 12 on PS5 and number 8 on Xbox 24 hours after its launch.
I already know where he's going with this. He's already upset. I already know what he's going with this. The chart is not in favor of Battlefield 6. Okay? Battlefield 6 came out on the 10th. This was done after October 11th, which was one day after, which is not a fair comparison. Also, most Battlefield players are on PC. Most. So the PS5, the Xbox, it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? 6, 7. It really doesn't matter. You PCs, man. So I could see what he's about. He's getting ready to talk about.
So before I start dismantling every single short bus riding Call of Duty Gooch Licker's logic and takes and
what's up with this guy with Gooch? Why we gotta be all that?
Claims on Battlefield 6 versus Call of Duty as it pertains to this data right here. We need to break down this tweet because this is essentially the source of all the misinformation that you're seeing on the timeline everywhere, and I'm happy to explain it to everybody. First of all, saying that it was the most played game in the US on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S is not true. This is data that pertains to all of PlayStation as a platform, so that's PS4 as well as PS5, and yes, that is important, as well as Xbox One as well as Xbox Series X and S, and again, that is important, and you'll see why later on. Secondly, remember that the data ends on October 11th. That is a very important date, as well as the fact
Battlefield
that this
6
was
came out.
The
Battlefield came out on the 10th. The beta for Call of Duty was still going on. Okay,
Black Ops
7
beta, which is high prime time, but on top of that, when we talk about the HQ, you'll see why this is important. The next thing is that Charlie Intel says that Battlefield 6 debuted at number 12 on PS5 and number 8 on Xbox, which again are two totally different things, all right? He says PS5, but what he...
Wait, the thing is, Charlie Intel, from what I've seen on Twitter, kind of stick to talk about Warzone and Call of Duty content. Is there a world where, you know, he gets paid to talk bad about Battlefield? Maybe, but at the same time, it's a 50-50 when it comes to that. Like, is it possible? Yes. Can Call of Duty pay content creators to say good things about Call of Duty and bad things about Battlefield? Absolutely. There's a world for that, yeah.
Means is PlayStation as a whole, which is interesting because he says Xbox rather than Xbox Series X or S, which is the current gen, and he doesn't mention old Xbox generation consoles. So instead, he just says Xbox. But for PlayStation, he doesn't say that. He says
PlayStation
PS5
4
specifically. Again,
he doesn't say
just
PlayStation
these
4.
inconsistencies make up for the misinformation that you're going to see on the timeline here very soon. Now, guys, before I even get to the chart itself, I want to ask you a very, very serious question. I want you to tell me right now, without seeing the data, what do you think is more popular right now? Battlefield 6 or WWE 2K25?
1,000,000%. YouTube, let's say it together. Battlefield 6 is more important. Yes. It's more popular right now.
And please, Feel free to take your fucking time. How many times have you heard of the new WWE game from last year versus Battlefield 6? You tell me which one you have heard more about. What's that? You've heard more about Battlefield 6? Well, obviously. How would you like to know that according to these charts, WWE is ahead of Battlefield 6? Now, that might make you wonder right now, is this chart data even something significant to go off of in terms of popularity and impact? Clearly the fuck not. No. But these people online will have you believe that it is the end-all be-all for Battlefield 6 and Call of Duty. Not to mention, Call of Duty is not Call of Duty, it is Call of Duty HQ on the charts. And we've talked about this before.
And what he's gonna say is Call of Duty HQ consists of other Call of Duty games like BO6, Warzone. What else? I believe that's it at the moment. But I could see where he's about to flip the fuck out, because on the tweet it says PS5 for Sony, but for Xbox it says all the different type of Xboxes, which is not a fair comparison also, right? Because you're just gauging PS5 and then you're just gauging all the Xbox consoles, and you taking those numbers. It just kind of seems like they're trying to manipulate the numbers as far as from that tweet.
Guys, what is the Call of Duty HQ in today's times? Well, we know it no longer includes MW 2019 Part 2 and 3, but it does include Warzone, all of it, which is free to play, Black Ops 6, and, guys, get this, Black Ops 7
and BO7
during the beta, which is stated in the tweet.
So during the beta, you would have had BO7, BO6, and Warzone at the same time generating numbers for Call of Duty HQ. Comparing it to Battlefield 6 alone, which was a paid thing. So it's not a fair comparison. I see where he's going with it.
Surprising to you that Call of Duty HQ is at the top of any of these charts?
Correct.
Honestly, to me, as somebody who is very critical of
that's a 1v4. That's not fair.
Call of Duty. I'll tell you guys right now, Call of Duty can suck my balls from the back and from the front, from the left, from the right. I don't care. But my negative feelings towards Call.
My thing is, these guys are very popular. Him, the Rick, like all these negative Nancys that come and make these reviews, and if you go to their videos, they're all the same. They're all the same, and it's just like they're getting popular and more popular because it's just fucking negative. And guess what? They all play the game. When Black Ops 7 comes out, this fool right here is gonna be playing Black Ops 7 also. He needs some shit to talk about. Okay, because if it was that serious, he wouldn't be playing any one of them games. I could promise you that. And the Rick, they both gonna be playing Black Ops 7 because they gotta find a way to hate.
Call of Duty do not change the fact that obviously, with the HQ considered, it's gonna go #1 on these charts. And even I can admit that. Now, it's important to note this, is that this chart data was for last week ending October 11th. Guys, when did Battlefield 6 come out? That's right, guys. It came out
October 11th.
October 10th. So
October 10th.
Data that you see here, all of these games that are listed, they have a week's worth of tracking time on them.
That's
where
correct.
Battlefield 6
had
only
one
has
day.
1 day. And if for whatever ungodly reason you fucking Call of Duty gooch-licking morons, you short bus riding dweebs,
the disrespect,
if you believe that does not matter, you are fucking stupid.
It does matter. It does matter for the sake of the video. I know what you're doing, but it does matter. Right? Context matters. And what they're portraying is Call of Duty is a better game than Battlefield 6 because of how they are manipulating the numbers. I could agree to that.
Sweetie, what is your condition?
How should I know? I'm retarded.
Let me ask you a simple question to get it through your thin fucking cranium. Person A does as many push-ups as humanly possible on one single day. Let's just say Friday. Person number 2 does as many push-ups as humanly fucking possible from Monday up until Sunday. Which person do you think has done more push-ups? The guy that has only done push-ups for one day, or the person that did push-ups every single day of the week? You tell me which one you fucking think has done more push-ups. You fucking low IQ, bottom percentile decimal of a fucking human being. There's a reason we believe not everybody in the Call of Duty community deserves a fucking opinion. Because guys, when you look online, this is the type of shit that you see. You see all of these.
But you know what though? You saying people don't deserve an opinion. Even if Call of Duty was doing great, I don't even think you'd give them that. I don't even think you would say something nice or say something good or say anything good about them. I don't think you would do that.
Moronic content creators and accounts, people who are failed Call of Duty pros who that never fucking made it because they're fucking frog shit at the game, coming out here with all this smoke and energy and hype about how Battlefield NPCs are.
I just don't get this beef between Battlefield players and Call of Duty players. Why are we segregated? Because it's fun. Because it's fun. That's what brings in the moolah. That's what brings in the money. To stay segregated, to stay separated, we have to have, you know what I'm saying? They both can't be good.
Stupid. And then they're making fun of people who said Battlefield numbers on Steam were very good. We'll talk about that later as well. You
and they
have people telling these guys that they're stupid for looking into this when Battlefield 6 only has 1 day worth of tracking on this week specifically, and people don't respond to this. Like, that is the one point already that just breaks this entire thing down. Nobody has a response to this. The only response I'm seeing is, oh, well, just wait until those first week numbers, then next week. Then we'll truly show you, man. My response is, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, we're talking about the now. And the now says that all of this hype and energy that these dumbasses have online is completely fucking invalid and inaccurate as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, we both know. We both know that Battlefield 6 right now is kicking ass. We both know Battlefield 6 is a better game right now. There's no doubt about it. You can say whatever you want about Call of Duty. We both know right now Battlefield 6 has shitted on every single game Call of Duty has put out since 2019 Modern Warfare. Fight me. Absolutely. I completely get it, but you have to think, little man. Call of Duty as a whole, it is just, no one could do it like Call of Duty. You see what I'm saying? Even though they're fucking up, no one could do it like them. And Battlefield is a separate, different type of game, right? They do what they do. No one could do it like them also, and that's why comparing them is a bad idea. You ever heard comparison is a thief of joy? And that's what we're doing right now. That's exactly what we're doing right now.
Blame half of these people. I mean, you got like baldy ass 8 Thoughts out here thinking that he did something. I mean, the guy's channel's been fucking dead, and I mean every single last one of them. I feel bad for the fucking guy, man. Look, I'd be grasping for straws too if I was a 70-year-old bald content creator that's getting his ass handed to him by a bunch of stupid ass content creators like me and the Rick. We got the good old Activision Tiana Trumps out here like Dyke Dynamite talking about today should mark the end of the Steam.
He knows who his peers are. The Rick and him, like, they have, it's like the vendetta against Call of Duty. It is serious. I mean, that's how they make their money. That's how their videos blow up, is by hating on swag, hating on other streamers. And it to me it's quite funny because those other streamers are debating is happening, is really, really good, and they're doing it well, and they're being talked about. And the Rick and this guy, and that's what they do, and that's their living. They just make videos about hating on COD and hating on COD streamers. But I don't know why we could all get along.
And COD is dead narrative. It won't. Call of Duty simply dominates every other platform while Battlefield doesn't.
I know dreams of goals traveling about.
I disagree with that.
The way I want it don't matter. With the devil, I'm walking off in the pop a lot. If I never.
Brother, we don't respect what you have to say. Activision literally sees you as a floating dollar sign.
Yeah.
And if they don't see you like
I
that,
agree.
they see you as a fucking hole.
And this is why we need to stop buying the shit if it's bad. I do agree with that. Because they kept putting out the same shit over and over again. and we kept buying it. That is on us. We took the shit, and it just kept feeding us the shit, and we just kept eating it.
All right,
that's
and
on
I'm
us.
not going to go any further into what I mean by that. They literally see you as a whole. Then you have other people that, once again, they disprove all of these claims from these people. This guy Bam Bam says you'll get official numbers for how Call of Duty is doing at this very moment if they release numbers for the next week after. Battlefield was only tracked for 1 day and Call of Duty had a beta. And this fucking idiot responds with, yeah, but launch day is going to have the majority of players.
Not realistically. Not realistically, because not everybody bought the game. You gotta understand the numbers with the Call of Duty HQ. You have a free-to-play game that is being tracked also. And then you have BO6 that's being tracked at the same time. That's 2 games. When one of them is free. Battlefield comes out, it's a paid game. So not everyone's going to have it. Not everyone's going to have access to it. So therefore, yeah, the numbers better be better at Call of Duty HQ. It better be.
That is simply not fucking true. We actually had confirmation from a Battlefield developer that said Sunday, which was 2 days later, had the biggest peak amount of players that they've had, period.
I agree.
And you might say
that's true.
That statement contradicts what you see on Steam, but what you fucking
more people had time to buy the game. I bet you that's what he's going to say. Because you got to understand, we got burned from 2042. And I was one of the people that bought Battlefield 2042, right? Maybe people just wanted to wait and see what it looked like from other people's playing it, from other content creators playing it. Like, yo, okay, this game's going to drop. Let me see if it's real. And then purchase after. When they saw the hype, they saw it was real. They purchased.
Morons are not realizing is that you guys are the people that told us that Steam does not tell the whole story. Because clearly, even though the Steam player count was dropping after Friday, which was the first day of launch, if that number was decreasing, and then on Sunday, they claimed that they had the biggest amount of players that they've had, period, and the numbers on Steam were dropping, then what do you think that means for the other platforms? That means by Sunday, more people were purchasing and playing on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, which
every platform.
This whole thing about Battlefield being available for
every platform
on this specific chart versus all of the other games that were there available for the entire fucking week. Oh, but you know what? That actually reminds me, guys. Let's not forget that all of the games that you see on that chart, especially Call of Duty, are available on how many platforms specifically?
About
We're gonna count it because I understand a lot of these Call of Duty gooch lickers are fucking stupid. We'll start with
damn. What is your problem, bro?
Call of Duty. Any of the modern CODs are available on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox
and that's true.
Series X
and that's true.
Steam,
that's true.
PC Game Pass, as well as Battle.net. That is 7 total different platforms that you could be playing
7
on.
platforms.
Battlefield 6 is available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Steam,
4.
as well as the application for EA. How many platforms is that, guys? That's fucking 4. Of course, on any given chart data that you see, that includes the popularity of games on an entire platform such as PlayStation and not divided between PS4 and PS5. Of course, the game that is only available on PS5 is going to be outperformed by a game that is available on both PS4 and PS5. Are these people taking that into account? Probably not. Are they stupid? Probably. What I think
because of the debate, like the debating. That's what it's about. They want one game to look better than the next. It's called business. Charlie Intel is more of a Call of Duty puppet than anything else. Not in a negative way. I respect him, but it's just like, this is what he does. So, yeah.
A lot of people would take a little bit more seriously was if some of these charts gave you true data for the following. Instead of going by console type, why don't we go by console generation? So let's talk about PS4 games versus other PS4 games and PS5 games versus other PS5 games. Why don't we also stop with some of this HQ shit that not only Call of Duty does, but I've heard other video games do as well. Let's talk about solo titles, all right? Independent titles that are not combined with the data of other games such as Warzone. And
I could agree with that. It's not a fair comparison because Battlefield is not a battle royale. So you shouldn't be able to compare that with,
Back then, we had MW 2019 Part 2 and 3. Let's talk about BO6 by itself. Let's talk about BO7 by itself. Honestly, let's talk about Warzone numbers by itself. Also, I am curious to see what happens.
BO6 should go with a multiplayer game. Or before you guys start comparing, you should wait till BO7 come out, compare it to Battlefield 6. Not the battle royales. Those are two different separate things. Just let's compare apples to apple and orange to orange.
If we wait an entire week after the launch of Battlefield 6, because as far as I'm aware, people are already posting the top 40 most popular games on Xbox for the week ending of October 19th.
Battlefield is already number 6.
And as you can see, Battlefield 6 has already jumped up to number 2, and it appears to continue rising while Call of Duty is actually dropping.
Number 2.
Now, there is a good chance that Battlefield 6 can crack into at least the top 5, maybe even the top 3 for some of these platforms for PlayStation and for Xbox. But the truth of the matter is, even by the end of next week or the week after that, it is very likely that Call of Duty HQ is still up top at number 1, simply because we're talking about PS4 and PS5 instead of just PS4 or PS5. And additionally, we're talking about an HQ that combines multiple titles and not just one independent title.
I agree.
You can tell me that Steam doesn't count for Call of Duty, but it does for Battlefield 6. Again, I don't really know how that shit works.
It should count,
but fuck it, man.
It definitely should count. Steam should count for Call of Duty and Battlefield. Like if we gonna use numbers as far as sales or playing or whatever it is, it should be across the board.
You can provide me proof that there's more people on Battle.net than on Steam, I'd be happy to look at it. But the fact of the matter is, you can't fucking do that, because
first of all, they are as far as Call of Duty goes, Battle.net has the most. Steam just got Call of Duty probably like a couple years. Battle.net definitely have more players playing on that side of things than Steam does, but all the numbers should be used.
You don't have the data for Battle.net. None of us do. You can tell me shit like, oh, well, it performs better on Battle.net than Steam. That's why
true.
Nobody plays on Steam. Okay,
that's true.
So show me the comparisons between FPS and the GPU and the temperatures. Show me with true physical proof that Battle.net performs better than Steam. I've played Call of Duty on Steam and I've had 0 issues with it.
I've
I've
never played Call of Duty on Steam. It's only Battle.net for me. So I wouldn't know if it runs better. But I don't see how it could run better on one app and not run the same on the other app. I don't know that.
You have for this, Steam is literally like the fastest growing platform on the fucking planet for video games, above consoles, man. And yes, there is data and numbers to back that claim up. I'm not just giving you baseless bullshit claims. I've said this on Twitter, but I'm gonna say it here again in closing. I challenge any Call of Duty fanboy or gooch licker, anybody that's into chart data and numbers, anybody that simply just wants to go against what I say. I challenge you to disprove any claim that I made in today's video. Please explain to me how a point like Battlefield coming out on October 10th in relevance to chart data that ended on October 11th, tell me how that's not relevant. Tell me how that doesn't matter for the chart data. My guess is you probably fucking can't, man. And unfortunately, this might mark the resurgence of the scat master talking shit in the Call of Duty community full time once again.
You know,
but that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what
you know, it's weird. Okay. It's weird in my opinion. Like people are going crazy over this shit. I mean, I guess it works. Right? That's what they're supposed to do. they make content, I guess so, but how passionate he is about calling us gooch lickers and stuff like that. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna include myself in that us because I play what I like. All right, I like Battlefield. I play Battlefield. I like Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty. Nothing you can fucking do about it or say about it. It is what it is. So you guys out there watching this, play whatever the fuck you like. Okay, if you like what you like at the end of the day. But I appreciate y'all watching. I just wanted to watch this with you guys. You guys leave something in the comment if you agree with this or not what I'm saying. But I do understand his frustration as far as with how they trying to make Call of Duty look way better than Battlefield 6 when it's actually not at this moment. To be honest with you, it's actually not. Battlefield 6 is a way better game than whatever Call of Duty's been dropping out lately. Until BO7. That's because they got pressured into doing it. It's because they got competition. Okay? But this guy's passionate. I like his passion. You know what I'm saying? If there's anything you can say, is he's got passion and we like it. All right. So make sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Also, like this video, subscribe. I'm out.